What's up, guys? It's your friendly neighborhood turtle hermit, JackieChun. I'm back. I got another fourth generation standard match for you guys today, um, using an old team that I just constantly tweak over and over and over, it seems. But this is going up against krypton998, who I found on the Average Asylum Zat chat, and we're just testing this team out. But anyway, we're just gonna go ahead and jump straight into it. Um, I, I'm leading off with Frostlass. He's gonna lead off with Skarmory. I thought this might be a taunt set, but his first move, as you guys will see here, it has me suspecting that it's some type of other set. Um, I go for the taunt first turn just to gauge whether or not he knows what Frostlass packs and what type of set it is. But he goes straight for the bird, so that's fine. Um, at this point, spikes are priority, even if Frostlass does go down, because my sweeper needs Stealth Rock and a layer of spikes in order to sweep. And I have plenty of things on this team to force it out, especially since it's taking recoil damage. But he switches though and goes to his Machamp. And I don't have anything on this team that can one-hit KO a Machamp at full health, assuming the attacking lead set, so I'll have to get prior damage on it to bring it in range for something to one-shot it. But here I'm going to decide to go to Infernape, predicting either a Bullet Punch or a Payback at the health I'm at. So I'm just thinking about what I want to do here for a long time. My opponent was in the chat and he was basically laughing because he was like, well, don't you have a Machamp counter? But you guys will see how I deal with Machamp. So he does go for the Bullet Punch, and the plan here is to U-turn out to bait the Dynamic Punch, so that's exactly what I go for. Even if he predicts Frostlass coming back in, I'll just bring Ape in to U-turn again into Dragonite, because I need to get enough damage on it to where a Draco Meteor will one-hit KO it. So I did get a crit there on the U-turn, which definitely helped. He does go for the Dynamic Punch, and this turn I am just going to Ice Shard. Frostlass has done her job. Frostlass is a very interesting lead. A lot of people say it's not very good as a lead, but I think it can be quite good because it forces you and your opponent into a prediction game right from the start. I will admit it is a very difficult lead to use because you really need to know what moves to go for when you're using Frostlass. So I am going to go for the Ice Shard, as I stated, because I know he will go for the Bullet Punch and not want to risk me getting Destiny Bond on it with Payback, because that would one-hit KO. Now Machamp is around, he's going to be around 60 to 70% once I do decide to go for the Ice Shard, but I was thinking once again for a long time because, as I stated, I don't have anything on this team that can one-hit KO a Machamp from full health, so I'd go ahead and execute my plan, and Ice Shard does, I guess, a fair chunk, given my nature and the stab, but Frostlass just isn't that strong to begin with anyway, so Bullet Punch does finish me off, and now he is going to be in range for Dragonite to come in safely, and Draco Meteor for the one-hit KO. So that's exactly what I plan to do here, although I do look at a couple of other guys to see if maybe they can one-hit KO, but I just decide to stick with the plan and just end up going to Dragonite at the end of the day. I know it'd be faster anyway, so even if he had Ice Punch or Stone Edge, as long as Draco Meteor didn't miss, then I was golden. But he is going to go back to Skarmory to take the oncoming Draco Meteor, and I'm shocked at how much this does, and I don't know what his defensive spread is. You could easily argue that it's physically defensive judging by the damage, but Draco Meteor does about that much, especially defensive Skarmory too if I roll max damage. And it might even be a taunt set with Brave Bird. I've seen it before, but that's pretty rare, so it is at this point that I just decide to finish Skarmory off with a Fire Blast before it can lay spikes down. I don't want my guys taking damage just coming in, as I need to be able to switch around. And even at -2, I'll one hit KO, but unfortunately I miss back there, and he's able to roost off all the damage from Draco Meteor. So he basically came in for free. So that was a bit annoying. But Hacks is more than makes up for it later on. So I just decided that I need to threaten Skarmory outright directly by going to Heatran. And I need Stealth Rock up anyway to help deal with the pesky flyers like Gyarados and Zapdos. So that's what I'll go for instead of directly going for the KO. And giving him a free switch without me having Stealth Rock. But he did Brave Bird back there. He said he misclicked and he meant to Whirlwind. I'll definitely take his word for it. But in the end, it really didn't matter. And it wasn't a game breaker for him unless he allowed it to be in his mind, which I can't control. So the only way it would take advantage of that is if Lucario came in on the Whirlwind. Everything else on my team forces Skarmory out. But speaking of Gyarados, he does end up coming in because I just got rocks up just now. He gets to come in for free, and I can't tell what set it is either. So I really don't like dealing with Gyarados, and this team is a bit weak to it. And bulky Gyarados being the worst after a Dragon Dance. So I know he's going to Dragon Dance up here this turn, so I have to bring Dragonite in and hope a combination of her and Infernape can take it down. Infernape is packing Thunder Punch just for this occasion, and it is Scarf, so it's very similar to Flygon in that regard. And I go for the Extreme Speed just to weaken Gyarados first. I need to see what set it was running since I got rocks up a bit too late. And Infernape's Thunder Punch doesn't one-hit KO at full, so I am a plus attack nature, so I do roughly 30% to the bulky Gyarados standard, and it looks like that's what he's running because he shows the Stone Edge, and now I do see the leftovers and Dragonite goes down. So now it's time to bring Infernape in and hope he doesn't switch out and he takes the bait. I was just thinking about it for a little bit, but I do bring Infernape in, and I know exactly what my next move is going to be, but he actually thinks for a while here, and he was probably thinking, well, why would I bring an Infernape in on a Gyarados? But I guess he had the same thought process as earlier. He thought I didn't have a Machamp counter, so maybe he thought I didn't have a Gyarados counter, and most likely he thought I had nothing for Gyarados. But he does end up taking the bait, and Gyarados does go down, so that's a huge threat out of the way that I do not have to deal with. In hindsight, he should have switched out because, as you guys will see later on, that was his only setup sweeper, and that was pretty much his main sweeper, from what I could tell, and judging by the combination of team members. So it's pretty much built around bulky Gyarados. But he is going to bring Machamp back in here, and I do decide to reveal Gengar at this point because I know Thunder Punch will not one-hit KO Machamp even at that range, and he wouldn't randomly pay back knowing I could probably two-hit KO him with Thunder Punch. So that Thunder Punch did just enough damage to Gyarados back there. Maybe he thought I wouldn't have Stone Edge, but I mean that was last turn, but I'm just thinking out loud here, guys. A lot of people don't expect Thunder Punch on Infernape anyway. And it sucked for him because he had a lot of switches to go into Thunder Punch. But anyway, Gengar comes in and he does go for the Dynamic Punch. Now I'm going to double switch back to Infernape on the payback or the Bullet Punch. And I intended to lock into close combat once I did that, and just hope that he doesn't have a Ghost or a Fighting Resist. Dragonite was gone, and I didn't want him catching on to a switching pattern by me going back to Gengar again. And the entire point of this was I just want to finish Machamp off because he can be annoying as well. I don't have anything on this team that can one-shot it at 100%. Man, I've said that 3 times now. Anyway, I promise I won't say it again. But it's a good thing I actually didn't do that, because he's actually going to go to Electivire. at this point. And it's funny because at first I was wondering why he didn't go to this to Electivire earlier after I KO'd Gyarados. But I guess Infernape's naturally faster than Gyarados anyway, so he still must have not known that I was Scarfed. Now this is a very bad matchup for him, and I know he doesn't like this matchup because I can easily one-hit KO it. Because I wouldn't either if I was in his shoes. But maybe he brought Electivire in to scout for the Thunderbolt, possibly. Because all of Thunderbolt's rare. A couple of Gengars do carry it, and my Gengar does as well. And as tempting as it is to go for the one-hit KO with close combat on Electivire, I decided to take the safer route and U-turn out to scout for the switch-in. And he's going to go to Gliscor, hoping I would close combat and get something out of the deal. And Gengar was going to be my switch-in whether he did this or not, as I figured Electivire would go for Earthquake and not go for a Stab Thunderbolt or Thunder Punch, just based on the way he was playing. And maybe it was at this point that he did realize that I was Scarfed. But anyway, this is another bad matchup for him. Gliscor can't touch Gengar unless it's got Knockoff, Stone Edge, Ice Fang, or Night Slash. And most Gliscors don't carry any of those. So, unless it's a Swords Dance set. And I decided to sub to scout the set, and he does set up a late game Stealth Rock, so now I know he can't touch me, even if he had something to hit me. I am going to go for the Shadow Ball here because I am hiding safe behind the sub, and it's pretty unfortunate, and this is where, as I stated before, hacks more than makes up for earlier for me, because I am going to get a crit on this Shadow Ball. And I don't know if this mattered or not. It probably did, but it's possible that it may not have, because Gliscor still would have been 2-hit KO'd if it somehow survived. But Gengar wouldn't have a sub anymore if I didn't go for it, unless he... But that's only if he didn't have anything to hit me. But the way I was playing this game, if I didn't go for the sub, I probably would have went for the sub though if I lost it. But even if I didn't, there's nothing he has that'll outspeed me and one-hit KO aside from his last. So he's gonna bring Skarmory back in. I guess he thinks I don't have Thunderbolt on Gengar at this point, but I do have it. Risky on my part as he still has Electivire, but maybe he didn't think I'd risk it. And Skarmory goes down as well. And that's probably why the crit didn't matter back there, but he finally just brings Machamp in to sack it just to break the sub, and I just go for the Shadow Ball and take it out. So Gengar pretty much wrecked this entire game, and it's awesome because I really didn't even have to use my main sweeper. He just never saw play. I was just able to handle things between Infernape, Gengar, and Dragonite pretty much. When Heatran saw a little bit of action, but he does reveal his last, which is an Infernape, and here he's going to go straight for the Overheat. And look at this, guys. Let's see if you notice it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. He outspeeds me. And guess what? He one-hit KOs, and he has Life Orb. So it's a mix ape. It worked out because now I know my ape is going to outspeed, but I was sitting there going, how is he faster than me? Hasty Nature max speed. But it's still going to be my game because he is going to go for the Mach Punch, but it's not going to be enough, and close combat is going to clean it up for me. And basically I'm just going to go to town and just close combat everything else he has left because he doesn't have a ghost. So Infernape will easily fall. His last poke is Electivire, and he will go down to a close combat. I honestly forgot about Mach Punch back there, but it wasn't enough unless he got a crit. So if he did, I might have been in trouble. But anyway, that's pretty much going to be the game. It was a good game, krypton998. I do hope to play you again, and that is pretty much it, guys. I look forward to continue tweaking this team and just tweaking the members and just making it better and better as I've always have, because I do love this type of style when it comes to offense. But yeah, if you guys like what you saw, don't forget to like the video. It'll help it get noticed. Don't forget to leave your comments as well, and subscribe if you want to. And Chun is out. Peace.